Radiant and Resilient is about mindset and faith to break paradigms and overcome challenges in our life. Because when the mind, body, and spirit are aligned, we literally radiate from the inside out. I'm Kay Vasquez. Let's dive in. Did you know that dragonflies actually spend the first few years of their life in the water? I didn't know that either. I actually just found out the other day as I was diving into my human design and gene keys. I learned about the metamorphosis of a dragonfly, and I thought it was so incredible to learn because when the egg hatches, the dragonfly lives in the water. They're known as water nymphs for a few years until they're ready to emerge into an adult. And when they do, they climb out of the water holding on to like a stem or a leaf or something like that. And through the energy of the sun and the water that's in their body, it expands their wings. They start to transform and metamorph into a dragonfly, which I thought was so incredible and so beautiful. I'm like, how did I not know this? Because I've always loved butterflies and dragonflies. And we know that butterflies, they start off as a caterpillar and then they go into a cocoon as they go through that metamorphosis and transform into a beautiful butterfly. So they have their own transformation process. But I didn't know this about dragonflies. And it's been really cool because I've been seeing a lot of dragonflies recently as I experience my own transformation. The first time in pregnancy, as I go through each trimester, the first trimester, second trimester now, just experiencing the metamorphosis, the transformation of, my body and the mind, where the neural pathways are changing so I can get rid of old pathways as a maiden who is very independent and be able to clear some space for new pathways to step into motherhood as I eventually connect with my child. But also going through my own transformation of just leaving a lot of old patterns and old identity behind, especially as I pivoted from just being a functional medicine practitioner focusing on the body to now really expanding myself to diving even deeper, focusing on mind, body, and spirit as part of healing, as part of our transformational journey to really overcome challenges in our life, to really step into who God created us to be and find fulfillment, find more joy, more peace in this life, and feel our best self while we are, fulfilling God's purpose. And so I thought it was just beautiful how, I've been seeing a lot of dragonflies lately, reading about the dragonflies. And the reason why I want to share this with you is because it goes back to energy. Because when you think about the dragonfly, it uses the energy from the sun, the energy in the water to go through this transformational process. And that's where emotions come into play, because emotions are energy in motion. You probably heard me say this before, but if you haven't, emotions are literally energy in motion. And so what I learned is that that throughout my life, when I was presented with an obstacle or a challenge, I would experience a certain emotion, whether it was overwhelm or fear or guilt or shame. And I didn't really know how to use that energy. I didn't know how to process it and transform it into my next level, into growth and an evolution. A lot of us weren't taught how to transform our emotions, transform that energy, because when we're in that low energetic vibrating state of frustration. So imagine, like, if you're feeling frustrated, how does that make you feel in your body? If you're feeling guilt, feeling shame, does it make you feel strong? Does it make you feel weak? Does it make you feel heavy, or do you feel light? Does it make you feel tired, or does it make you feel energized? Because our emotions carry energy. And so if we're feeling frustrated or we're feeling guilt or we're feeling shame, it's not a high energy emotion where it causes us to take action and, connect and find joy and find peace. No, we are literally feeling stuck in a certain area of our life, whether it is with our health, with our relationships, our marriage, our business, our career. When we're experiencing those emotions, we tend to feel stuck. And so a lot of us don't know what to do when we're there. And because it's uncomfortable to feel it, we suppress it, because we want to find something outside of us. And that's what I realized. I was finding something outside of me to help me feel better in that moment, to pull me out of feeling that discomfort, that emotion that was affecting my energy, my physical energy, but also affecting how I showed up. And so when we look to things outside of us, it actually gives our power away. And when we can actually start to tune in, learn how to transform that energy, because I always say, like, our emotions are here to teach us. So if we can get curious and tune in, then we can make the shift. Then we can transmute that energy, which leads to our next growth and evolution in this life, whether it's with our health, with our relationships, with our business or career, whatever that is, where we're feeling stuck. And so if we can really tune into that instead of run away, finding something outside of us to make us feel better in that moment. And if you haven't yet, I highly recommend go back and listen to my episode on caffeine, how I was addicted to caffeine, and how addictions, to different things outside of us can pop up in our life. And it may not necessarily be what you think. You probably are addicted to something without being aware of it, because addictions, we tend to minimize them and think that, oh, it's just something that we need or something that we do. We don't really think too much about it. But in reality, the addiction is a defense mechanism to avoid that emotion that we're feeling. So if you haven't yet, I highly recommend go back and listen to that episode. But I just wanted to share this powerful insight that I had. I mean, everything comes back to energy. And how are we using that energy that's within us? Because we have the power to transform. Albert Einstein always says, like, energy cannot be created or destroyed. So if it can't be created or destroyed, what happens to energy? It can be transformed. We can use it. If we're feeling low energy, we can transform it into a higher energetic state. And it starts with doing the inner work. It starts with building awareness, that emotional awareness of, why am I feeling this way? And where is it coming from? What is it trying to teach me? And so when we can get to that place, that's where the shifts start to happen in our life. So anyway, I just wanted to share that with you, because if you didn't know the story, the transformation of Dragonfly, it's pretty cool. And we can actually apply it in our own life, especially as we're going through this life and we're faced with a challenge and an obstacle that is presenting itself, but maybe it's for our next growth. It's for our next evolution. Because I truly believe that we will be presented with challenges to help us grow, to help us evolve, to mold us into the person that we need to become, to fulfill the bigger purpose for our life. Because when I think about it, I know God has a bigger plan for me. And I know I'm meant for so much more. God has put on my heart that I'm here to do big things. I don't know what that looks like yet. I know I'm here to make an impact, but I can see, like, the end, how I'm making that bigger impact. But God hasn't shown and revealed to me what that looks like yet, because I know myself, if God revealed to me the whole plan of everything that He wants me to overcome and to create, how to show up, who to serve on a bigger scale, I probably would feel a lot of fear. I probably would also be overwhelmed and be like, no, God, that is, are you sure that's for me? Like, I don't think I am good enough to, fulfill that purpose. I don't think, you have the right person to do what you want me to do. So I'm actually grateful that I don't know the bigger plan. I used to need to know the bigger plan and how to get from here to there. but I'm trusting the process. I am seeing these obstacles as opportunities to really tune in and learn about myself. And if I'm feeling stuck, it's because it's here to teach me. It's helped me to grow and evolve into my next step, the next version of me, to fulfill God's purpose that He has for me in my life. And so that's where the emotions come into key, because I wouldn't be able to do that if I wasn't tuning in fact, to those emotions of overwhelm and guilt and fear and shame would definitely have kept me playing small, would have kept me from actually growing, from like stretching and getting myself out of my comfort zone, because I didn't know how to process. I didn't know how to navigate those emotions, because those emotions are there to keep us safe. But I also am aware that I already am safe. Like, God's got me. And so I can start to break those barriers down, break those walls down, those patterns, the conditioning, the beliefs that I created, and start stepping into what God has for me. Because when we can do that and break free, like, life is amazing. Life is incredible. God is able to bless us abundantly in every area of our life. But we can't do that when we're stuck, when we're playing small. And one of the things that I think about is that when I get to the end of my life, I don't want to look back and be like, wow, I wish I showed up more. I wish I overcame my fears. I wish that I fulfilled my purpose. I don't want to get to the end of my life feeling that I didn't fulfill my purpose here, that I didn't make a bigger impact because I was too scared, because I let fear get in the way. So that is what is driving me, because I want to get to the end of my life and be like, God, I gave everything for you. And I did it from a place of love. And I'm so proud of myself for overcoming the fears, overcoming the challenges and the obstacles, so you could use me in so many other people's lives and make that bigger impact that you want me to make. So that is why I'm passionate about what I do and want to help you break through your next level. So if you're feeling stuck, whether it's with your health, whether in your relationship, in your business, your career, let me know. I want to help you transform that energy, transform those emotions to help you break free to get to that next level. So if this resonates with you, send me a message on Instagram at the Kate Vasquez. I'd love to hear from you, and stay tuned for the next episode, because we're just going to keep up leveling as we step into our radiant and resilient versions of ourselves.